From crazy stunts and life-risking moments to crafting spooky CGI monsters, the Wednesday crew went all out on the visual effects. Let's dive into what it's like on the set of this Netflix hit. Jenna Ortega faced the toughest challenges during filming. To pull off those wild action scenes with telekinesis and fights, she trained for months. And trust me, she took her prep very seriously. Jenna picked up fencing, practiced archery, went canoeing, and even choreographed that viral dance scene. She put in 12 hours a day for 8 straight months. Talk about a tough routine. But what's even crazier is that Jenna did a lot of her own stunts. When asked about it, she said, "Yes, I love to. I give stunt coordinators so much anxiety. I'll throw myself on the floor or off a wall. It's unbelievable." Of course, being an actress, Jenna had a stunt double for the more dangerous stuff. Meet Ayumi Umahao. When Ayumi dresses as Wednesday, it's hard to tell who's who. She wrote on Instagram, "I was lucky enough to be Jenna Ortega's stunt double. You really didn't need one, but I'm grateful to have been yours." But Ayumi downplays her role. She did all the intense physical training Jenna did, and had Jenna's back during the most intense filming moments, from fencing duels to escaping buildings. Ayumi was involved in scenes you wouldn't expect, and she seriously put her health and safety on the line for our entertainment. Remember that moment when Wednesday nearly got crushed by a falling gargoyle? Yeah, that was real, and it was risky. Jenna was only in the safe shots while Ayumi took on the dangerous parts. Let's not forget the scene where Mayor Walker got hit by a car. Believe it or not, it was shot without any CGI. Instead, a trained stunt double pulled off that dangerous trick. You know that little jump right before the car hit? That was a special move performed by a pro stunt double, just like many other painful stunts on Wednesday. After hearing all this, you've got to appreciate the hard work of stunt doubles even more, right? And for those who didn't know, the iconic Thing was played by Romanian magician Victor Durabantu, who is super talented, funny, and a bit mischievous. What most fans might not realize is just how tough Victor's job was. For starters, Victor had zero acting experience before this, so he spent weeks rehearsing to figure out how to convey emotions using just one hand. It's no easy feat to show feelings without any voice or subtitles. Every day on set came with its own set of technical challenges for both Victor and the VFX crew. They had to coordinate on angles, find the right positions, and come up with clever ways to hide the Thing. Plus, Victor had to contort his body into all sorts of crazy positions, upside down, under floors, behind walls, and even underwater. If there wasn't enough space for him under a bed, the crew would just cut a hole in the floor. And if that didn't work, they'd literally raise the whole building so he could fit. The goal was to make Thing as realistic as possible, so most of the time you see a real human hand. But even with Victor's talent, he couldn't do every scene. For some sequences, they had to use CGI, and that meant bringing in special props like a gray ball and a color chart to help with the effects. So next time you watch Wednesday, give a shout out to Victor and the entire crew. Now let's switch gears and talk about the production design, especially that iconic Nevermore Academy. You might be wondering if it's real or all computer generated. Surprisingly, it's mostly real. They filmed at Rome Castle, which is pretty stunning in real life. The VFX artists just added some spooky touches. Most locations in Wednesday were actual sets, and production designer Mark Scruton shared how thoughtfully everything was designed. At Nevermore, you've got all kinds of creatures: gorgons, vampires, sirens, werewolves, a real melting pot. Principal Weems's office reflects this mix of styles, featuring a Gothic fireplace, a modernist desk from the 60s, a James Bond-style chair, and even a modern laptop. The room combines Rococo and Chinese architecture, which is pretty wild. Another clever design choice was the color scheme. Notice how when Wednesday is on screen, everything around her is colorful? It sounds simple, but it took a ton of work. In the rooms of Wednesday and Enid, all the color is on Enid's side, while Wednesday's side is more muted. Achieving that look required nearly 90 artificial lights on set. Talk about attention to detail, which is what makes Tim Burton's project so special. And let's not forget about Hyde. Did you find it cute because of its big eyes? That's classic Tim Burton. He's been using that style since his first film, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Hyde is a typical Burton monster, but he even designed it himself after rejecting 60 different sketches. In fact, he got so frustrated that he just painted the monster in watercolor. To bring Hyde to life, the actor wore a special costume with tracking marks. Honestly, he didn't look at all scary on set, but after the VFX team worked their magic, we got the perfect Tim Burton monster. Despite the tough filming sessions, the cast still found time for fun on set. If you're a fan of Wednesday as much as we are, you know that they definitely had some great moments behind the scenes. That said, one of the most time-consuming aspects of Wednesday Season 1 was creating the look for Morticia. Head makeup and hair designer Tara McDonald shared with BuzzFeed, "We worked together to create this modern Morticia. The process involved everything from hair extensions. Catherine Zeta-Jones even brought some of her own to use to applying a pale foundation all over her body. The entire transformation took around 2.5 hours. Jenna Ortega really went all in on Wednesday's goth vibes, barely blinking, let alone cracking a smile. In fact, she only gives a big, genuine grin just once throughout the entire 8-episode season, mostly sticking to that expressionless, dark look. But Netflix has just dropped a gag reel for the series that shows Ortega breaking character and laughing while still in her Wednesday getup. It's a fun peek behind the scenes. In the video, there's even a moment where she accidentally whacks her co-star Emma Myers in the face with a flashlight. There's even a moment where she accidentally whacks her co-star Emma Myers in the face with a flashlight. Definitely a hilarious nod to how Wednesday often reacts to her roommate Enid. Check out the clips and see for yourself. Speaking of stunts, the Hyde monster was brought to life by actor Daniel Himshoot, who wore stilts and crutches to mimic the creature's terrifying movements on set. And that wraps up today's video. If you want to stay updated on all the latest movie news, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. By doing so, you'll stay in the loop with all our future updates. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next one.